Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my Adamancipator deck profile. So it's not the first time I make it. I actually made another one like a month and a half ago or something, or maybe 2 months. Should have been like in April, but anyways, I am back with a newly updated one. So right before we start, just a friendly reminder to like and subscribe because it motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And yeah, let's just jump into it. So I am playing 2 Beta, the Magnet Warrior. Basically, you don't really have to try to think too much about this. It's just a level 4 rock that is Earth, and that is a vanilla monster because Unexpected Die actually allows you to special summon a level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck when you control no monsters. So it's basically an extender. I know it does have some form of play with Link Spider. Some people actually play Angel Trumpeter, so if you actually draw multiple copies of Angel Trumpeter, it's shockingly quite good because you normal summon one, make Link Spider summon the other one, and then you make Needle Fiber, and Needle Fiber actually gets you the O-line, and then you can actually do plays and make your Raptite with the Martial Marcher and the token. So you can actually kind of get like an Adamancipator engine going just with Needle Fiber, which is kind of the reason why it should be banned very soon, because I mean, even if it's only at 1, it doesn't change anything because most decks are playing 1 Needle Fiber, and as I already stated, you don't really need Block Dragon that much. It's a great card, but you don't need it for this deck to be very, very good. Like, even if Block Dragon gets banned, if Needle Fiber is still a thing, it's gonna be a problem, and vice versa. So yeah, 2 Beta, the Magnet Warrior, I think this is a good enough ratio, but we'll see. 1 Block Dragon, I mean, it is a brick. Like, you really don't want to draw Block Dragon like all the time. I mean, if you draw 1 and your hand is playable, then it's really, really good because you don't really have to search with Block Dragon with Granite, so you might as well just make Rafflesia and actually be completely safe from hand traps, because there are actually 3 ways of preventing, like, hand traps from blowing you out. There is Quackimeru Guardian, not Dragon. I mean, I just don't listen to myself when I speak, basically. But there is Quackimeru Guardian, there is Rafflesia that can actually send the Gravedigger's Hole. So obviously if you draw it, then Rafflesia is just no longer an option. And then there is also Herald of the Arclight. I do not play Appaloosa. I think there is absolutely zero logic behind playing Appaloosa in a deck like this. You're just kind of giving yourself the illusion that you're making a bigger board just because it has more negates, but realistically, Appaloosa, I don't think it ever even negates anything. It's just like, oh, they made Appaloosa, I mean, I didn't even have a hand trap anyways, and when you make your big ending board, people don't really look at Appaloosa, they look at everything else. So yeah, I don't think it's too big of a deal. But anyways, 1 Block Dragon, 1 Gigantis, I mean, it is just not a starter on its own. You need an Earth in the graveyard, and sometimes you just can't even get, like, 2 monsters on the field. So being able, like, just playing more special summons is really key, and Gigantis is unfortunately not really, it doesn't really match that, like, that criteria in a way, so yeah. 3 Quackimeru Guardian, I mean, it negates every hand trap literally except Infinite. So there is also another good Quackimeru. I forgot if the name was Sandman or something like that, or Wall. One of them negates spells, the other one negates traps, and there is also another one that negates like inherent special summons, or maybe even normal summons too. But I wouldn't really go with that one. The one that negates traps could be nice because you can negate Infinite evenly, stuff like that. But apart from that, I mean, whatever. I think Guardian is just by far the best, so yeah, stick with that one. 3 Dinotherium, I mean, everyone's playing that one at 3 too now. At 3 as well right now. That's basically what I wanted to say. So it's basically like a free special summon, level 4. When you special summon it, your opponent actually, I think it's actually a mandatory effect. Your opponent has to target a monster level 4 lower in your grave, or in their grave, and they special summon it to their field. But I mean, it's one of the first plays that you do, and when you're going first, so it doesn't really help them or anything, and you can actually just side it out when you're going second. So I mean, if you're scared that they make a big board, and you might just make them revive a good card, so yeah. 3 Analyzer, I mean, it's obviously obvious. I had 3 Analyzer, 3 Seeker, and 3 Researcher. I really don't want to explain this. Analyzer, more often than not, is a really, really good normal summon, because if you're going first, it's not really a special summon, but if you're going second, Analyzer is just extremely, like, it just applies so much pressure to your opponent. I know a lot of decks don't, I mean, not a lot of decks, but a couple of decks don't really always end on a monster on the field, such as Pure Eldritch, and that's kind of all I can think of, because Alter guys, they just play so many, like, more monsters now that Analyzer is just basically always going to trigger, so you don't really have to worry too much about that. 3 Pitting Cesar, it's kind of like a Guardian Iatos, so you can special summon for free when you have no monsters in the grave. Obviously, just like Dinotherium, it is once per turn. Even the Tenyi Spirit, Devil, this is also a once per turn, and it has kind of like the Photon Thrasher clause, but a little better when you're playing Unexpected Die. I already explained this in my combo video, but if you have Unexpected Die in this, you go Unexpected Die first, and then obviously since you don't control any effect monsters yet, you are allowed to special summon any Tenyi monsters, so that's sick. 1 O-Line, because it's involved in the combo. I mean, Needle Fiber special summons it. It is not a brick since you don't play Auradon, so if you draw it, it's not the end of the world. 3 Doki Doki, another really good normal summon, you see, so you have Analyzer and Doki Doki when you're going first. Sometimes I even normal summon Quakimeru Guardian because I have like so many like special summon extenders that it doesn't really matter too much. I can go like normal Guardian, special, and then make like Gallant Granite, search the Researcher, and then just kind of play from there. So Doki Doki is just really fantastic as well. Obviously, if it gets ashed, it's really rough, and your Magical Midbreaker doesn't really protect you from ash. It protects you from a bunch of other things because you can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, but you can still get ashed or belled or DD Crowed. I mean, DD Crow does literally nothing against this deck, like at all. I mean, by the time DD Crow gets to affect you, you definitely already have negates on the field. So yeah. Oh, and of course, the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. This is just a insurance policy to play around Dark Ruler no more, because obviously that would be a really huge problem, but yeah, you can easily counter that. So yeah, 3 Unexpected Die. I mean, I'm main decking 3 Dark Ruler because I don't know, it's just I don't want to play hand traps. If I play hand traps and I'm going second, this becomes dead. Or I don't know. I mean, you can play hand traps honestly if you really want to, but Dark Ruler you can also top deck it for turn. So one thing that I realized, this is some like legit maths, by the way. If you're playing a card that is a 3 of, that you are allowed to draw like going second, such as Dark Ruler, Infinite, stuff like that. I mean, I was gonna say Kaijus. Obviously, Kaijus, if you're going first, it does nothing. So you're always gonna have like 6 cards in your hand, like when you see Kaijus, because you don't want to side them going first. But Dark Ruler as a 3 of is equivalent to playing a card that you have to draw in your opening 5 as a 4 of. So you have like a 33% chance of drawing a 3 of in your opening 5, but you have approximately a 39% chance of drawing it in like a 6th hand of, and then Upstart Goblin increases the probability of like 1%. Obviously, this is just some basic hypergeometric distributions, nothing too special like about this, but 40% chance of getting Dark Ruler. Just think about it, this is like 2 games out of 5. It's pretty good, like 2 games out of 5, you're Dark Ruling your opponent, and you're winning a game that you shouldn't technically win, and just on a game 1. And then 50% of your games, if you're going first and you actually max out the consistency, you should be winning these games extremely easily. So this is just kind of like the main logic with this deck is just to max out the odds of you winning when you should be winning, and then game 2 and 3 you adapt. So yeah. Upstart, of course, when you're playing 40, I really don't like when people play 41 with Upstart. It's really stupid, but it's really easy to cut cards in this deck because not everything is broken. I mean, like Shade, Dinotherium, and Pitting Cesar, a lot of like once per turn effects, so this is why I actually cut Shade to 2. Another level 4 extender, I mean, I would explain this now, and Gravedigger from Rafflesia, so that's pretty much it for the main deck. Once again, if you have any comments, let me know in the comment section below, but I'm not done yet. So we have the extra deck, and we're gonna also cover the idea section. So Boral Savage, this is basically the monster that you equip Dragon Buster Destruction Sword to, and obviously it's a negate, so you know, why not. And it outs a lot of like shockingly annoying things, because sometimes your opponent summons like, I don't know, like just in case they summon like Ultimate Falcon or something stupid, at least you have a monster that has like gigantic stats. So yeah. And also, even when you equip it after, it gets an extra like 1,000. So I think this becomes like 4750 when it's equipped with Needle Fiber and Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. Well, I mean, technically any monster. So yeah. Dragite, it's just really good going second. Going first, it's still decent because it's still a spell trap negate, but Savage is obviously the priority. However, if you actually want to summon Dragite, you definitely can, and then end your turn with Block Dragon on the field, which protects Dragite from being destroyed by card effect. So Lightning Storm just shouldn't be a problem. And also, you can Masquerena into Cerberus during your opponent's turn and protect your Link monsters. So that's actually really cool when you actually play Appaloosa. But if you play Appaloosa, what I would do is that I would actually summon the Appaloosa by linking off a Masquerena, so my Appaloosa just couldn't be destroyed by card effects, which not only plays around like the combination of Ogre plus a hand trap, but also Lightning Storm, so that's really smart. Do keep that in mind. Dawn Dragster, this was actually showcased in my combo video. The reason for that is because once you synchro summon your Adamancipator Raptite, Jesus, oh my god, it becomes a synchro, a tuner, obviously it becomes a synchro. It becomes a tuner because of the Martial Marcher's clause, which makes it so any synchro monster that is synchro summoned using this card becomes a tuner. So since you have a level 6 tuner now, how do you make Dragster? Well, easy, right? Because Link Cross actually gets you 2 tokens. You use one of them for Martial Marcher with O-Lion, and then you have like one leftover. You just use that leftover with Raptite to make Dawn Dragster. Yes. Alright, I really don't want to pronounce this anymore because I just keep messing it up with Dragite. Yeah, I mean, Leonite obviously sucks. You don't play that card because the trap card is just not good at all. I mean, like, pure Adamancia is just horrible because you only have 9 Adamancia monsters. And I don't think anyone wants to play like an RNG deck, but like, this is why, you know, people stop playing like the crystals and stuff, like the level, even the level 4 water, which is the only one that actually has an effect. Like the fire and the green, the wind, oh, forget it, beyond garbage. But the water actually, you know, if it's summoned, you draw 1 card, it's not that bad, but it wasn't good enough. And Quackimaru Guardian is just infinitely better, so why bother? So yeah. Herald of the Arclight, very well explained already, so I really don't want to bother. Granite, obviously, Rafflesia for hand trap negation, Unicorn because of Masquerena, Phoenix because if you are getting There Can Only Be One, your main deck does not out it, so Phoenix is the only way to clear it. And obviously, you know, if they have There Can Only Be One with other negates, then you probably just lose, unless you can actually crash a Gigantis. So it's one way of just breaking floodgates, but apart from that, it's, yeah, there's really not much that you can do, really. I mean, game 1, the deck really isn't that resourceful against like every single situation in the entire world, because it is a combo deck, not a control deck. It wasn't designed to go second specifically. It was designed to win going first at an extremely like significant win rate, and then going second still have, you know, some win rate, but it's not the main focus of the deck. And this is what people actually think about a lot when they deck build combo decks, so yeah. Serb, Needle Fiber. Serb is an Earth, by the way, just saying. So Block Dragon can actually banish this from the graveyard, and you can turn this into Link Cross, get one more Earth in the grave. So sometimes you actually do that. One really important thing that I should mention is that Reprodocus could actually be played in this deck, because sometimes you just need to link off 2 monsters, it doesn't matter, make Reprodocus, and then you're like, oh, well, not only is Reprodocus an Earth, but also you can actually turn any monster into a rock. Once again, doesn't really matter, but then you can actually special summon your Researcher from your hand. So that is, you know, it did come up for me like maybe once or twice, but not enough to the point where you want to play it. And Cerberus actually has an effect, unlike Reprodocus, which is kind of just like, I don't know, it's just in case something weird happens. So yeah. Union Carrier because of the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. Can you do something cool with Union Carrier, like something else? I don't think so, yeah. Oh yeah, equip Block Dragon, of course. I just casually forgot one of the most important things about this card. Yeah, of course, equip Block Dragon when you can't Gallon Granite, so yeah. Masquerena and Link Cross, whatever, everything here is covered now. So for the idea section, Spiral Super Agent is actually a good tech, honestly. You can side it in going second against trap decks, so I don't know, like against Paleozoic, Eldritch, and Altergeist, if you call traps, you have like a really high chance of getting it, and then you can pop a spell or trap like as an added bonus, and it is an Earth. So yeah, definitely consider Super Agent in case, you know, you want to be able to play second a little bit more, but obviously I'm just not showcasing generic side deck cards. I could do like a video just for that, but right now I'm not gonna bother, so yeah. Trishula Fusion with Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, Ravenous Crocosaur, Cyrus Integrator, Formula Synchron, VFD. All of these cards were covered in my combo video. They are involved in the VFD combo and in the King Calamity turbo. So 2 completely different combos. You cannot play all of them in the same deck because otherwise you're gonna need like a 30 card extra deck. It's just obviously not gonna work. But if you want to play like specifically the King Calamity, which I think is better than VFD, you can do that. It's quite easy to trigger, honestly. But VFD, it's kind of just like too many steps. Sure, it's easy to make Ravenous Carcosaur. You can also make Trishula, by the way. It's Trishula draw 1 or Ravenous draw 2. And, oh yeah, when you do Ravenous, you also get the chance of excavating a monster with Reptite. But if you Trishula, then you can't even make a Reptite. So, you know, it doesn't really change too much, but yeah. And Trishula, obviously, I mean, it's neggy. It's really neggy to summon. You just have to banish 3 monsters, but yeah, it is a lot. And also, you don't get any effect because you obviously don't banish 3 dragons unless you're playing a really sketchy deck. But what are you banishing anyways? Absolutely nothing. So yeah, Dweller, if you want to play it with your rank 4s, I mean, you can easily cut Dragite or not Dragster. Obviously, I would definitely play Dragster. Maybe, no, not Serb. Yeah, really, I mean, it's just cut 1 card for Dweller or I don't know, Link Spider, I really don't know. I think this extra deck is just really good on its own anyways, so yeah. Appaloosa, obviously, I already explained why this card is just not good enough in this deck. Needle Fiber, oh, sorry, the second Needle Fiber is important in the King Calamity Turbo. Not in the VFD Turbo, but in the King Calamity Turbo, yes, because you actually need to end your turn with a Needle Fiber so you can sync, well, yeah, tag out into Formula Sync 1 and then quick sync into King Calamity, so yeah. Adamancia Signs. This is basically like a Monster Reborn for any rocks, but if it's like an Adamancia, you can actually stack a level 4 lower rock. Yeah, exactly, a level 4 lower rock from your deck on top. It's good, but not like, you know, not insane, and I really don't, I don't really like Monster Reborn cards in general, because they never start your plays. They just extend when you're already doing well, and that is kind of a problem. So imagine if you break and you have this and you're just like, oh, imagine if I just had like 2 level 4s, all of a sudden I get to play, because obviously 2 level 4s equals Needle Fiber, which is already a minimum of 1 negate, even if you're super unlucky. So definitely go for consistency and reliability over like sackability. That's a new term. Anyways, Called by the Grave and the 3rd Shade Brigandine that actually cut from the main deck. So that is pretty much all I had to showcase for this deck profile. If you have any comments or feedback, let me know in the comment section below. Once again, test hand video coming tomorrow. You really don't want to miss that. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because it motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And that's pretty much all I had to say. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace!